If you've ever tried making waves in a pool, you probably notice something interesting happen if you have two sources of waves. You end up getting this interesting pattern in the pool with these flat parts and these hills and crests. So what's the cause of these interesting patterns? It's a phenomenon called constructive and destructive interference of waves. This means that the waves of different objects collide and interfere with each other and can even cancel each other out. So how does this work? We see that at the very beginning, once we start making waves with the balls, that the waves are kind of close to the balls and not crossing over each other. But once we start sending them out for a little more and we see that they're traveling out, we see that the waves the balls are creating are crossing over each other and interfering. So let's look at our example again and try and see what's happening in our original video. We see here that we start sending out the waves from the balls, and as it starts going out, we kind of start seeing these lines of calm water form out. So you see these waves and these flat spots. So what's the cause of these flat spots? Now, so let's try and understand what's going on in the pool. Well, when we have the two balls in the pool, they're both making waves that are kind of going out towards each other, as we have shown. And we want to find out what happens when they collide or interfere. So instead of thinking the wave as kind of this abstract, very confusing kind of energy thing, what if instead we consider it as, a pile of dirt? And that's our crest, but this trough over here is a hole. This will make it very easy for us to kind of understand what's going on in this diagram over here. So when the two waves are on top of each other, we see that so are the piles. They're on top of each other, so two big piles is going to be an even bigger pile of dirt. So we see we have this big pile of dirt over here, twice the size of the original one. But then we have these two holes right next to each other. So what happens when we have two big holes? Well, we get an even bigger hole. We're going to need more dirt to fill it, so we're going to make an even bigger hole. So what ends up happening is when the two waves are right on top of each other in this way, the wave becomes bigger and combines and sends off. So this is what you're seeing at points like this, down this kind of line. This is our biggest wave. This is our biggest wave. Now, what happens if they're not exactly on top of each other? Here we see this pile of dirt and this hole are kind of aligned with each other. So what's going to happen is some of this dirt, or all of this dirt, is actually going to fall into the hole, and it's going to fill some of it up. But these two piles of dirt, they aren't above a hole. So what's going to happen is they're going to combine it with each other into a pile. But this dirt from the pink one is going to be used up to fill this blue hole, and so on and so forth. So what ends up happening is that these two piles are smaller than our original pile. So we're going to end up with a little smaller wave than what we started with. So this is why you're seeing these kinds of areas here, where the wave starts kind of dipping down and off into this flat area. So why does this flat area occur? Well, if you look right here, when two waves are like this, what ends up happening is this dirt pile is all used up to fill the hole of the pink one. All this dirt is used up, and so over here, we'll end up with just flat ground. No hole, it's all full. So when two waves are on top of each other like this, what ends up happening is we just get flat area. And in more complicated terminology, and what we say, this is constructive interference when they add. and it's destructive when they subtract. So this is completely destructive, and this is completely constructive. We can have somewhere in between using both, but our flat parts of the waves in the pool are all because the waves from both balls, the balls are over here somewhere and over here, the waves are sending out, and where they kind of cross and interfere, at some points of these interferences, we get waves like this, and so they completely cross out. So we end up with these flat parts in the waves.